Greetings, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I am in a different location. It is a location that you will have seen 2 years ago, and then again 2 years before that, and that is because it is my childhood bedroom. I am back in New Zealand for 5 weeks. I do already have some videos I filmed before coming back, so you're gonna get a bit of a back and forth of location, so it'll keep you on your toes. Today, I wanted to do something that I have done once before, a few months ago, and I found it really, really fun to do, and you all seem to really enjoy it, so I thought, why not go back and do it again? And that is looking through the subreddit called r/openmarriage regrets, which is basically a place for people who have made the decision to open their marriages and regret it. Very self-explanatory. So people who go up to their partners and are like, I want to see other people, but I don't want to break up. So we're going to open the marriage. And then it goes not the way that it should go. A lot of the time there's a lot of coercion. There's a lot of people with egos that are way too big that, don't view their partners as desirable. There's a lot of cheating and trying to cover it up. There's a lot of jealousy. It's just a bunch of people who do not know how to do non-monogamy in a actual consensual, good, healthy way. I personally think that open relationships have the ability to be incredible. I think that open relationships, when done well, can be some of the healthiest, most communicative types of relationships you can get. However, a lot of people don't do it properly. A lot of people go into it with bad intentions. They don't communicate, and it's just an absolute nightmare. And I just wanted to have a look at some of that and talk about that with you today. So buckle up, because it is a ride. But before we do get into it, I would love to take this moment to tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, Rocket Money. If you are anything like me, you are currently subscribed to way more things than you realize, because you signed up for a free trial for something that you absolutely did not need, and then you just forgot, and then you got charged, and now you are signed up to a monthly subscription, and you can't remember which email address you signed up with. You can't figure out where to go to cancel it, how you got there, or you don't even know what you're subscribed to. You just know that money is coming out of your account every month, because that happens to me and I hate it. But that is where Rocket Money is your best friend. Rocket Money is an app that helps you manage your finances, and one of the ways that it does that is when you connect your bank account, it scans through and sees where all of your subscriptions are, what they all are, when they're being charged, and it helps make it easier for you to cancel them. And on top of helping you unsubscribe to a bunch of places you do not need to be subscribed to, it also offers some really great budgeting tools. So it helps you sort out spending goals in specific categories to then work towards an overall savings goal for, if you want to travel. It can help you reach those goals because it makes it really easy to manage money. And on top of that, it also helps you manage your bills and find if you can get cheaper prices for the bills that you are paying by negotiating with the providers that you are using. It is truly such a good and easy way to manage your money and have that so easily accessible to you. So if you want to take control of your finances and better, more easily manage your money, then please do use the QR code up on the screen or the link in the description, which is rocketmoney.com/kiwi. Then you can try it for free now. Speaking of things we need to save and saving money, let's move into some marriages that cannot be saved and people that need to save money for a divorce. I'm gonna start off with just a tweet that kind of sums up about 80% of the situations that get submitted into this Reddit, which just reads, "Boy math is opening up your marriage so you can fuck around, then get mad because your wife is getting slammed while you severely overestimated your market value." Yeah, that's kind of... that is kind of how a lot of this goes, is just so many men, sometimes women, but usually men, have incredibly high egos and just don't view their wives as being desirable, which, that says enough in itself, right? They think that they're hot shit and everyone will want them, and they're like, but not my wife though. No one will want her. Everyone will want me. Bro, you should like your wife. You should think that people would want to be with her, because if you don't, that means you don't want to be. And that's not a great sign. A perfect example of that, I think, is this first one I'm gonna read you. I don't want an open marriage anymore. Am I the asshole if I ask for a divorce because my wife doesn't agree? My wife and I have been together since we were in our late 20s. We never had a boring sex life by any means. We have always been active together, trying new things and doing exciting stuff. When we were younger, I made mistakes. I cheated, hid flirting. I was caught, but sometimes I wasn't caught. I'd stop, but I never came clean. But I did try to make up for that and never wanted to leave her. I'd say on the contrary, if you were constantly cheating on your wife and hiding it and never coming clean, do you really want to be with her? Like, do you actually, like, love her, or do you love what she does for you? Like, I feel like these are questions that these people who are, like, serial cheaters really need to ask themselves. Because if you were constantly cheating on your wife, you don't respect her. You don't love her. You just like having her do things for you, and you like getting things out of her. Maybe you enjoy the comfort and the support of someone, but, like, not from a place of love and respect. And, you know, you shouldn't be married to someone you don't love and respect, because she deserves better. Anyway, carrying on. Now in our 40s, I had to be honest. I just was losing interest, but only sexually, being with only one person, even when we're adventurous and active, having threesomes. It can still feel monotonous. I was looking around at all these other options I couldn't have and feeling like I was losing out on experiences. It's not that I don't love my wife and want to stay together, but sexually, I was craving more. Men are designed that way. Shut up. I'd get flirted with all the time, and I honestly just wanted to feel sexual and wanted. My wife and I had a long talk about opening our relationship. She was not happy about it at first, but with my past cheating, I mentioned this was a great, safe, and honest way that we could experience without hurting each other. Some good old manipulation there, being like, okay, but, like, if you don't open the marriage, I'm just gonna do it and not tell you. So, you know, this way no one gets hurt. Like, if you let me sleep with other people, then I'm not lying to you, so we both win. No, because if you pressure someone into doing it and they're unhappy with that, that's not consent. They're still gonna be mad at you. Still not gonna be happy about it. Yeah, you're not lying, but it doesn't get rid of the fact you're doing something that your partner is not comfortable with because you pressured her into it. So, no. The first few months, she was in a constant depression about it, and it hurt. I went on a few dates and slept with one woman, but I never stayed out all night. My wife was severely depressed, and it was really hard to see. But I, like, kept going out on dates. I could see that it really hurt her. She was, like, really upset, and she was obviously very uncomfortable about the fact that I was, you know, going out with these other people. And I felt for her, but I kept doing it anyway. Clearly didn't feel that bad, did you? I tried to go above and beyond with my wife just to let her know that she's my one and only, and the rest is just sex. It's not what we have. But I did not expect our open relationship to be like this. After she stopped feeling bad for herself, she started putting herself out there. While I have to message 100 women just to get one reply maybe, she's got hundreds of messages to pick and choose from. She could have dates every night. And the dates I've had, they're young and fun and very hot. But they don't hold a candle to the love and life we have. Whereas my wife is seeing these guys who make me feel incredibly insecure, and I feel like she picks them on purpose for a reaction. Ego. The ego. These men making so much more than me, much more successful, who should be going for young, hot bodies and not 44-year-old wives in open relationships. That whole little block there, I feel like is the center of the problem, right? Like, the way that he's like, my wife is only dating these really cool guys because she wants to get a reaction out of me. She wants a reaction out of me, and that's why she's choosing them. Not because that's who she's attracted to. Not because she just finds them interesting and is interested in them. She is specifically going after them to hurt me. And also, why do they even want her? Why do these men even want her? They could do so much better. They're settling for her. They should be going after these other women. There's nothing special about my wife. She's not hot. She's not special. She's just a 44-year-old woman. Why aren't they sleeping with 20... And here lies the problem. This whole thing starts with him being like, should I ask for a divorce? I think she should ask for a divorce. I haven't even finished this post, but my takeaway presently is she should ask for a divorce. She should have asked for a divorce the moment she was pressured into opening this relationship. But, you know, when you've been together for like 20 years, I guess that's difficult. But now, because of this, because he's like, I'm not attracted to you because you're not like, what, 20? Divorce. Anyway, carrying on. I thought she'd have some fun and then come back to us, but she's getting trips to foreign locations, expensive gifts, proclamations of love. These guys are fighting over each other for her time. And meanwhile, I'm getting weird looks for trying to give a waitress my number, like I'm so undesirable to a minimum wage worker. This guy is the worst. Oh my god, bro. It's not fair that these guys are fighting over my wife. She's nothing special. Meanwhile, these like young minimum wage workers won't even go out with me. Why won't these like young women who have no money date me? They should want to date me. I have money. Is that all you have? It seems like it, because you got a bit of a shit attitude. Maybe you should be going for other 44-year-old women. Maybe if you are in your 40s and you don't find other 40-year-olds desirable, that's on you, and you should work on that, because that's gross. I told my wife that I wanted to close our marriage. This is not what I wanted when I opened it. I thought we'd have a few good times, but now she's putting our marriage second to go meet other guys, and that's not okay. My wife said some hurtful things, saying I only wanted that because I wasn't as attractive and fit as the guys on the market and didn't have women fighting over me like I thought they would, which I guess is partly true. I expected to jump right out there and have so many options like she does. And honestly, I don't know how society is to older women. I did not think I'd have to worry so much about her getting this much attention. I thought at most she'd see what's out there and be grateful for our lives, and she'd be the one asking to close the marriage and feel shameful to be the one having to beg her instead. This man is the worst. He's the worst. Oh my god, bro. It's just the straight hypocrisy of being like, I wanted to have what she has and I want her to have what I had. That would be fine. That would be so sick. That would be so cool. If I could be going on a ton of dates with hot, cool women and she wasn't going on very many dates with men, that would be chill. That would be fine. She's begging to have just me and she'd like see that I'm perfect. That's what I want. But like having it be the other way around, I don't like that. And now I want a divorce. This is quite literally what you asked for. I'm sorry you didn't realize how great your wife was. And you didn't realize how much of an asshole you are, but I hope you know now, because you're an asshole. Final paragraph. She left with one of her boyfriends who was offering to get her a nice condo for a few weeks. Meanwhile, I can barely pay rent because she's not contributing while she's not here. I told her if she didn't come home, I was going to file papers for divorce, but she never replied. Her phone's been off and it's just killing me knowing she's being cared for by this successful, handsome guy while I can't even get a reply back and sitting here alone and sad. I'm her husband. I should come first. I never wanted a divorce. That's why I opened the marriage. But now I think that's the only way she'll see how serious I am. Womp womp. That's what I say. This is quite literally what you asked for. This is now your wife realizing that she can do a lot better than you. She deserves a lot better than you. There are a lot of people out there who actually like respect her. It's not even about the money here, right? Like that's a bonus, sure, but like these men are like fighting over her. They're giving her proclamations of love. They are treating her well. And I guess she's probably realizing that she doesn't get shit from you. She deserves better. And so she's going to let you go through this divorce. You chose to open the marriage. She didn't want it. So you made your bed. Lie in it. This next one kind of has a similar energy to how we finished off on that one. I'm going to leave my fiance for my boyfriend. 6 months ago, my female 25, fiance, male 28, asked if I would be willing to have an open relationship. I agreed. Everything was okay until like 3 months ago when he asked if we could switch from open to poly. I agreed again. He started dating a girl from work and I started dating a guy from my gym. So in this instance, open relationship means casual sex and poly would mean they can have multiple like serious partners. That is what I am presuming. Now that we have that out of the way, moving forwards. Now this guy, male 26, is so different than my fiance. He takes me on dates every week. He brings me flowers and food at work. He texts me just to say hi. He's sweet and affectionate. My fiance, however, we've been together for 4 years. He only gets me flowers for my birthday. He's never affectionate. His idea of a date is playing board games or watching The Witcher. They are very different in bed too. With my fiance, most of the times, sex is a chore. He's fast and rough, and then he goes to watch TV. My boyfriend, however, is very tender. He takes his time, and he checks if I'm enjoying it, he cuddles with me after, and he brings me snacks. I was talking to my mom about this, and she asked me which one makes me happier, and I guess it clicked. I like the way my boyfriend treats me, while my fiance is more of a roommate at this point. After my talk with my mom, I decided to talk to my fiance as well. I just told him that I wish he would be more affectionate with me. He just shrugged and said he isn't into chick flick. So I guess I'm going to break up with my fiance because I don't want to marry a man that never takes me out or buys me flowers or holds my hand. I want someone that shows their emotions. I don't know if me and my boyfriend are going to work out since it's still new, but at least now I have options. I grew up around men that were emotionally unavailable, and most women in my family constantly told me that men aren't affectionate, so I guess I kind of believed it. My first 2 boyfriends were like this as well. They didn't like showing affection, and my fiance is the 3rd guy I've been with. It feels good to know not all men are like my mom made me think they were. I'm on my way to have dinner with my fiance, and I'm going to call off the engagement. Then there were a few updates that were, we had a huge fight and he confessed he only wanted to open the relationship because he wanted to sleep with his co-worker without being a cheater, and then he wanted a poly relationship because he developed feelings for her. Typical, that happens a lot. And he called me a bitch for dumping him because I'm a big baby who needs attention. Apparently, I need to grow up because real men don't get emotional. Sometimes opening the relationship and it going badly is like the single best thing to happen to some of these people, largely to a lot of these women, because yeah, we are raised being told men are a specific way. You know, we live in a society of like toxic masculinity and believing that, you know, this is just what a relationship is. If boys are mean to you, it means they like you. They're not going to show emotion. They're not going to be vulnerable. Like, this is just how they are. This is what you have to accept. And like, so many women are just like brought up to settle effectively. And if that's like the type of relationship you grow up watching, right? Like if that's the relationship that your parents have, that your aunties and uncles have, that you see on TV, etc., right? You are going to assume that that's what it is. And so when you find someone who acts like that and you end up in a relationship with them, you do stay. And even if you're like not entirely happy, you're content because you think that that's all there is. And so you kind of are just like, well, it doesn't get better than this, so I just have to, you know, settle with it, I guess. Like, you convince yourself, you're like, this must be what love is, because you're kind of told that that's what love is, right? Editing Kiwi here. Just an interesting point that I didn't include because I didn't think of it at the time, but came to me whilst editing, is the fact that this is also why so many women don't figure out that they are lesbians until later in life, because we are raised to settle for men. We are effectively told that, like, love isn't deep. You know, you're not going to feel that same connection with a man that you're going to feel with, like, the friends that you love. Like, you just kind of tolerate the men, you take what you get, you just have to settle. And so a lot of women end up in relationships with men thinking that that's what, you know, you're meant to feel, not realizing that they truly just are not attracted to men. And those deep bonds they feel with women, that's, like, what attraction is, and that's what love should feel like. And it takes some women a really long time. Sometimes they never figure it out. And the way we talk about men and straight relationships is a very big contributing factor to that. And I just thought that was an interesting point. Anyway, back into the rest of it. And then, thankfully, luckily, in this situation, opening the relationship, ending up meeting someone who is not like that and realizing that men don't have to be like that and relationships don't have to be like that. And I think that's really great. And I'm so glad that she found that and is able to explore that. Her and her now boyfriend have closed the relationship, so they are monogamous now. And a lot of people in the comments are like, it's not going to last with your boyfriend. Like, you know, it's not going to last forever. Firstly, she mentioned in there, I don't know if it's going to last with my boyfriend, but at least I know I have options. Like, it doesn't matter if it lasts or not. All relationships serve a purpose, you know? And like, if this relationship is only for like 3 months, that's fine, because she now has learned that she deserves a relationship like that and they exist and she can find one again, right? Like, she now knows not to settle for men like her ex. She knows that there are relationships like this that she can have. And that is so important. And I think as well, learning that fact of like, a lot of us feel like we have to be in relationships in order to be happy and in order to be valid, and that's why we settle for so little. And now having this knowledge that you don't have to settle for that means that she would be more happy to be single whilst waiting for another relationship like this to come along. And I just think overall, whether it lasts or not, it doesn't matter, because it like taught her something so important, and it showed her what love actually is, and like taught her not to settle. And I think that is so important, whether it lasts or not. Happy for her, proud of her, and fuck the fiance. Don't actually, but husband wanted to open our marriage. I'm considering divorce. So my 34 male husband and I, 30 female, have been married for 8 years. Our love life was great despite personal things that I'm not going to get into since they're basically non-factors. Anyways, to spice things up, we looked into some kinks and he makes a confession to me. He wants to try cuckolding. Yeah. that. I asked him why, and he said it would be an immense turn on for him. I flat out refused to because I took our marriage seriously. Every time we get intimate, he brings it up. Now I have no problem with it being a fantasy, but he wanted it IRL. Each time I told him no until it started wearing down on me, and I finally had enough. I'm so sorry. God. People need to learn how to take no as an answer. If you say no, that means no. You can maybe ask again at some point in the future because potentially their mind will have changed. But like you can bring it up as a, oh, by the way, I'm still, interested in this kink if you've changed your mind about it. What do you think? Yes or no? If they say no again, it's like, okay, I'll take it off the table. Maybe put it in their hands, be like, let me know if ever you change your mind and I'd be game for it, right? If you continuously do, I want to, please, 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 that's not consent anymore. That's not consent. If someone says yes after you have begged them, not consent. And if your partner does that to you, it's totally valid to leave. I know that you've been together for like 8 years, but like at that point, like that's not okay. Like it's not okay at all. So reluctantly, I told him to make a profile for options. He found one, 37 male, who was interested. We talked. Guy was clearly interested in me. I wasn't feeling him, to be honest. He kept asking for spicy pics. I told him no. Unfortunately, at my husband's behest, I sent a couple to the guy. We set up a date and time to meet. Leave his ass right now. This should be the end of the story. The next sentence should be, he asked for spicy pictures. I said no. My husband then begged me, so then I walked out the door and handed him divorce papers because I'm absolutely not going to be doing anything like that I am uncomfortable with. This is my body, not my husband's, and I'm not going to tolerate that. Unfortunately, I understand. So many women, so many people, not necessarily just women, are in positions like this. I've been in a position like this, and it's hard. It sucks. When you, like, love someone, you kind of do it because you don't want to, like, lose them, because you have this, like, fear and this desire to make them happy, and they play off of that, and it's manipulation, and it's abuse, because, this is not some small thing. Like, it's marital rape at this point. I guess sex hasn't happened yet, so I don't think you can count it as that, but it's definitely like sexual abuse, harassment. I don't know the correct term for what this is, but it's not okay by any means, and is absolutely divorce worthy just from here. Well, my husband started getting cold feet and called off the whole thing. He deleted the account after telling the guy it's a no-go. He promised to get some sort of help after realizing how the whole thing made me uncomfortable. And believe me, I was very uncomfortable the entire time. I didn't believe his words because every time I voiced my concerns, I met with 2 responses. You'll have fun, or I'll seek help. Now he's acting distant and it's affecting our relationship. He usually gets like this sometimes. I don't want to resort to a divorce, but I didn't sign up to marry essentially a cuck. Apologies for the long post, but I had to get this off my chest. No, it's not just I didn't sign up to marry a cuck. It's I didn't sign up to marry someone who doesn't respect me and views my body as something that he owns. Because that's what's happening here. This is so much deeper than the actual kink. This is he doesn't respect you and he prioritizes himself and his desires over your actual needs. This whole thing was entirely selfish and not okay at all. Your no is so much more important than his yes. Whoever says no, they call the shots. What the other person wants is so irrelevant in this case. He wanted to, sure, but you didn't, so you don't. End of. That's the end of the conversation. And if you were constantly, firstly, even after saying no a bunch and finally being pushed into it, if you were constantly making it known that you are uncomfortable and he keeps being like, oh, you'll have fun, oh, you'll like it, oh, you'll have fun, he knows you're uncomfortable. Being at the end, being like, oh, I feel bad that you feel uncomfortable. That wasn't what it was. He had the realization that, throughout this whole story, it was very obvious that he views you, this woman, as property and something that is a toy for him to play with. And he realized at the last minute he didn't want anyone else to play with that toy. So he's like, oh, actually, I don't want to. I don't want to share. This is mine. And I don't actually want to share it like I thought I did. And she has no say either way. Yes or no, doesn't matter. I call all of the shots. And that's not okay at all. You can't fucking do that. And I know how so many of these conversations would have gone because I've fucking heard it and it makes me so mad. It reminds me of something I wrote a while ago that you know, it's kind of along these lines, and I just think it is important to share as sort of a message and something that a lot of people probably relate to a little bit too much, and it relates in this issue a lot, and also just in any issue of coercion, specifically coercion that exists within a relationship. And this is a poem I wrote about it a while back that reads, "He tried to touch me again, and I said no, just like I did back then. But he asks again, and again, and again, and I stand my ground, but my resolve is weakening. And then he looks at me and he says, my no has to mean yes at least half the time, because that's only fair. I'm not being fair. It's only fear that I'm left drenched in, drowning in a puddle of my own tears, as he takes what he wants anyway, because it's only fair, and it's only fear." That's something that I wrote and have like thought about a lot, and I wrote it a long time ago, and I just think it's way too relevant to way too many people. But I just wanted to share purely for the fact that, like, I think a lot of us do just continue to put ourselves in these situations because we want to please people, because it's really hard to disappoint the people that we love, and they know that, and they like manipulate things in order to make you feel like you're the bad guy, like I said in my poem, right? Like, and like I said before, of like, this woman is like, you know, he kept asking and he kept asking, and I finally gave in. And I know that through asking, there would have been stuff like, I will try what you try. We always try what you try. You know, I always want to do what you want to do. It's not fair that you keep saying no to me. Like, you know, and there's so much, like, they end up saying it in a way that it makes you feel like they're right and you are a bad person for saying no. And like, they kind of make you feel like if you keep saying no, it means you don't love them. And they're really good at making you feel that way. And so like, you can't stand your ground because somehow you have become the villain and they're like the good guy, or at the very least you are both neutral, which is absolutely not the case at all. Like, in these instances, whoever is like wearing you down and asking you again and again and not taking your no as an answer, they are the bad guy. Every time you say no, that no is immediately accepted. And if it's not, that's the end. Right? Like, if that is something that is happening, you leave. Like, actually, straight up, like, I know you might love them, but they don't love you. At least not in a good and healthy way. Like, again, they like love you, but they don't respect you. They love you because of what you do for them, not because they actually like respect and care about you. I just think that that's important to share. I've been talking about that a lot recently. And that is because it's been a lot on my mind, and I've been writing a lot because if you aren't aware, I make music. Or I did make music. I have a degree in music. I released an EP and 2 singles back in 2017 and then in 2020. And obviously it's been almost 6 years since I last released music, but I finally am working on making music again. And this is a very large theme in what I talk about because, you know, it's something that I have experienced, and it's something that I like to talk about and like try to validate people in, you know, their own experiences and help people get through these things. And like, I want to, you know, share my story in a way that validates people and gives people strength and like comfort. And so things like that poem that I just wrote, and then a whole lot more of like stuff along those lines that are both like very upsetting but also empowering, and I hope to provide validation and strength and hope for people. So if you are interested in my musical journey and, you know, the things that I am going to share with that, then please do, you know, hit subscribe, follow along. I do have a channel with all of my music videos already that will be linked in the description, as well as all the links to all of my other music. Also, if you want to get more poems and things from me, as well as behind the scenes music updates and songs as they are being worked on, all of that is available on Patreon. So if you want to help support me in that, then I would greatly appreciate that. You can go to patreon.com/savvycat or use the link in the description as well. So I just wanted to share that real quick, and now we will carry on. Okay. My husband is being insane because of the open relationship he suggested, even though I'm not seeing anyone yet. Please help. My husband, male 32, has passively pushed an open relationship for years, as if it's a need. I'm a female 32. After thinking about it, I said yes. I told him, let's do the open relationship, but we'll do it solo. He does his thing and I can do mine. We go over the rules and what we can and can't do. Married for 8 years. Now, my husband is getting more insane and insecure. It's like I married a different person. Gone is the guy who got a kick out of the thought of his wife with another man that he kept saying, replaced with this wreck. First, when he went to an event, he freaked out about me wearing a hat, saying he didn't want anyone looking at me, saying I am his wife. telling me not to wear it. After arguing him down, he realized he was being weirdly controlling. I'm sorry. He got mad at you for wearing a hat? What was this hat? Did the hat say, I'm available, come speak to me, I am available? Was that what was on the hat? Why is he freaking out about wearing a hat? I don't understand. Does wearing a hat mean something different where you come from? I'm so confused. Let's just pretend that makes sense and carry on. He is accusing me of trying to get away from him, and no matter how I confirm that I'm not, he still brings it up. He says I'm being distant and I'm acting the way I normally do. He asks me if I don't want him to see my phone. I've been more sensitive about it in his defense, only because when I do start talking to men, they'll be attractive, which will make him feel bad. He picks arguments out of nowhere to make his insecurities sound reasonable, or brings up past arguments to justify his insecurities. The kicker? I'm not dating or talking to anyone, and I'm not actively trying. I told him that, but he's still acting this way. It's like all my social media reactions I've gotten from my pictures made him realize that I'm actually very cute. In his mind, he thought he was going to be able to be with any girl or have a threesome, but he didn't think of his wife actually being with another dude. I kind of want to divorce him for all the years I've worked on myself. For him, asked him how I could be a better wife, satisfied him sexually, went to therapy for my issues, and he can't drop his insecurities. I feel like I'm passively being manipulated into making his insecurities seem rational. Am I being too hard on him? I want a divorce. I think divorce is completely rational. Honestly, totally fair enough. Once again, like these men just being like, I want to date other people, but I really don't want you to date other people, but like not even expressing that, but just genuinely just thinking that their partners are undesirable and thinking they're hot shit. Like if they have that attitude, you deserve better. And I hope you find better, because this is not it. These people go into this with like such the wrong mindset, and it's never going to work. All they're going to do is make themselves and everyone else miserable. If your partner ever asks you to open the relationship and like doesn't actually, you know, go about that in a way that is effective or communicative or like healthy, or like, you know, has to change your mind, don't do it. Don't do it. And if you say no and they like go and cheat on you, like leave them. If they are coercing you, if they are cheating on you, if they're doing any of that, like it's not worth it. And if he's getting mad at you for wearing a hat, what the fuck? If he does not view you as desirable unless for some reason you're wearing a hat, then he's just not the one for you. Right? If he thinks he's hot shit and he deserves better than you, then you should show him that you're hot shit and you deserve better than him. I think if your partner is showing you any signs of like not respecting you or caring about you and your desires, then like that's the end anyway, right? You just gotta call it. And it's hard, but like you deserve better and you can find better. And if you don't find better, that's fine too. It's better to be single than be with someone who doesn't respect you. And I say that a lot, and I just think I need to keep saying it because I don't think enough people believe that. It is okay to be single. It is okay to be single forever. Have your friends, have your pets, have like everyone else around you. You don't need a partner to be happy. I promise. For about the last 2.5 weeks, I've been extremely ill, not able to eat or drink much, because when I do, I can't keep anything down. It got so bad that I was hospitalized for 72 hours, given fluids, and sent home. My husband and I have been married for 13 years, together for 20. He has a girlfriend who I like and even adore a bit, but with the way I have been feeling lately, it really hurts to leave my home when I'm sick. She is into impact play and I have some PTSD issues related to the sounds. She'll be coming over today. I do support and encourage their relationship that is growing between the two of them. Right now, though, it is so hard as I'm being asked to go stay in my studio for the day while they have some physical activity. Normally, this does not bother me, but right now, it does. I have no running water or bathroom out in my studio, so I'd have to come back in the house and hear everything. Normally, none of that would have bothered me, but right now, I'm struggling. Every day right now, I have more trouble with keeping anything down. Water, any type of food, never stays down, and the dizziness is starting to get bad. I have some referrals that my PCP sent out for a couple of tests, so I'm waiting for that, but how do I navigate the relationships right now? I'm starting to shut everyone out, including my husband. I need advice. I'm not sure what to do or how to express just how hurt and alone I'm feeling. Yet at the same time, I don't want to say anything that would hurt the relationship between my husband and his girlfriend. Any advice would be appreciated. My advice that I give you, unfortunately, will in fact hurt the relationship between, maybe not between your husband and his girlfriend, but possibly between you and your husband. And that is the fact that, oh my God, fuck this man. Jesus Christ, that's horrible. Shame on her, honestly, if she knows you're sick. Like, imagine your partner of like over a decade is like deathly ill, like throwing up, severe headaches, can barely move, and you are bringing someone into your house and then like doing something that you know is actively triggering, and instead of just, I don't know, not doing that, telling her, your sick partner, to leave and go somewhere that doesn't have like a bathroom or running water. If you really cannot like not participate in like impact play for like 1 week, then why don't you go use the studio? Why don't you go rent a hotel room? Like, this should not be on this poor sick woman, right? Like, she's clearly okay with the fact that even while she's sick, she doesn't expect him to like drop everything and look after her. But it's not even what she's asking. She's just like, I really don't want to have to leave my house so that my husband can sleep with someone else. Usually it would be fine, but not today. And he's just like, just there like, oh yeah, she can do that. That's fine. Potentially, maybe she'll ask and be like, hey, I don't really want to. Can you get a hotel instead? And maybe he'd be fine with that. Maybe he'd be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. But she shouldn't even have to ask. Like, he should just do that. Like, communication is important, obviously, and you should ask for what you want. But, like, sometimes you really should not have to ask for things. Sometimes they should just be a given. And you should, like, you know and understand that you don't ask a sick person to leave their house so that you can do something that is not only unnecessary, but also triggering for the person that you love. So my advice here, unfortunately, is this relationship has been going on for over a decade, and I think that maybe it doesn't need to go on for any longer. I know my advice for a lot of these people is, like, just leave, but, like, can you work through this? Maybe. But it also, once again, like, so many of these people just don't respect their partners. This once again just shows such a lack of empathy and compassion and respect, because it's so much prioritizing his own desires over the actual, like, health and needs of someone he is supposed to, like, love with his everything. So divorce, that's my advice. So, yeah, so those are all the posts that I have for you today. That's a lie. I have 3 albums worth of posts that I took screenshots from. So if you want a part 3, please do let me know. I am trying to hit 500k by the end of the year. I have to get 8k in 2 weeks to do that. So as much as I would like to be optimistic, I'm going to move the goalpost a little bit. I'm going to say my birthday, which is January 14th. So it's only extending it out by 3 weeks. So if you could help me reach 500k by my 26th birthday, that would be incredible. I would super, truly, greatly appreciate that. So please do hit subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see more like it. If you want to see part 1, that'll be linked at the end screen. Yeah, I am here 2 or 3 times a week, and I would love to see you again. A huge thank you to my Kiwi Cat patrons: Polar Bee, Sienna, Alicia, Marielle, Bree, Bay the Trucker, Chastity, Beckett, Prismatic Petey, Sushi Kawaii, Phil the Duck, Jessie, River, Queen Glimmer, Ella, Mr. Noodle, Radsack, Knitting Menace, Chris, Ellie, Alexis, and Bobby. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.
When you close your eyes, you replay